Welcome everybody to episode 5 of the Valvoline NASCAR podcast for NASCAR 25. We just streamed 7 minutes with our audio not working, so here we are for the reset version. And now we're going to talk about everything we just talked about all again, which is very unfortunate. So, it's been a while since we did this podcast. It's almost been a month since the last time we did this, back in 2025, which was ages ago. And now, the first race we have to talk about is Texas, which Tyreek came out on top, and that race was just about saving your tires and being good on the long run and just being there the whole race. Like, being able to stay patient and put a whole race together is what Tyreek did. He wasn't the fastest all day, but he was there when it mattered.
And Tyreek was able to figure out how to run the bottom lane while saving his tires, which was very, very important at a track like Texas where the bottom lane is going to be faster with the tire adjustments.
For sure. Tyreek just had it all figured out. And based on what we've seen so far in his career at other leagues as well, Texas has been kind of his little playground. But, I mean, he hasn't been the fastest at other tracks, but he has been gaining a lot of speed and probably one of the most dangerous drivers in the Valvoline Cup Series when he's present. Like his performance at Richmond running the bottom lane as well. It seems like he's able to figure out some lines that other people aren't able to figure out. And that's a very big strength for Tyreek. And if he's able to make more races, he'll be able to show that off more and actually be consistent, make a run towards this championship.
Yeah, Tyreek is definitely going to be one of the championship contenders. If Tyreek would practice, if you're watching this stream, which you're probably not, because you're doing a league race right now. If you would practice for Valvoline, you could win a lot more.
Yeah, so after Texas came, which was in honor of the Biffle family, we've been praying for them, and just fun to have a race in honor of Greg Biffle and his family. The next race after that came a couple weeks later at Iowa. We had the holiday break over Christmas, and Iowa was a race where you had to prepare over the break to not get crushed, because coming in with that much rust or coming in with not having any preparation or any laps at the track at all would have been a huge disadvantage, which is something that our winner did, which was me. I put in like 80 laps of practice over the break right before the week of the race just to make sure I was on track and be ready for anything to happen. I think that was a huge advantage in helping me win this race, but there was other drivers throughout that race that had pace but couldn't get it done. And I mean, there's one driver I'm specifically talking about, which is NLS. He might have been the fastest car, but he didn't really get to show that off at all at Iowa.
Yeah, NLS, what happened to NLS? I don't even remember. I just remembered something went wrong.
He finished third in stage 1 after me and Bryce were side by side for the stage win, and then entering stage 2 on the second corner of stage 2, he got tapped around and wrecked, and then he got stuck a lap down.
Oh.
But, I mean, even though he wasn't...
Well, he tried out a pit strategy.
He did. Even though he wasn't in contention for the win, he did alter the pit strategy of your winner and a couple other drivers as well. So because he had to take the wave around to get back on the lead lap, he had to pit really early in the stage, and he didn't make it on fuel. But what I saw him pit early, and every time he's done that, he's been able to leapfrog me on the undercut, and he's been able to win races off of that. So I was just making sure I was good on fuel before, because I didn't think he would be good on fuel. So I waited until I was good on fuel by a few laps because I didn't want to stress about fuel. And then I short pitted as soon as I could. And I know you followed me in as well. But that was a very risky choice, now looking back at it.
What I've been doing for strategy recently is staying out longer, and I've been able to catch a lot of cars in the long run. That does not work in stages, though. I don't think anyone should do that in stages because not enough time to go catch the guys in front of you. But if you ever need a strategy, that's definitely a really good one.
Yeah, it's interesting what this game has made, because there's multiple strategies that work, and it's just goes race by race, because I've seen other tracks be different from each other as well, but the undercut and the overcut is such a fun concept in this game. NASCAR Heat 5 had it, but it wasn't as good as this game is. It's very fun to be able to showcase your strategic thinking in this game by being able to choose between the undercut and the overcut. So that's one of my favorite parts of the game.
I don't think, like, in NASCAR 25, there was strategy, but I don't think it's ever been like this. Like, for example, I know this is Valvoline, but Kellogg's, Arca, Michigan, where I took right sides and I was able to get in front of you guys and still almost be gaining time while you guys were pushing. You could not do that in Heat 5.
Yeah, no, not at all. So this game has been. Speaking of this game, what? Gosh, I can't catch my words. My apologies. This game has required the most focus of any racing game I've seen. And what? How big of a factor is focus in some of these races? Like, what can it cost you if you're not focused at every moment of the race?
Well, I think focus. Well, no. I think patience is like another version of focus. Because if you're focused and you're just driving through cars and that's your way of driving, like G Cool and Heat 5, um,
And 25, and 25.
that's I guess so. That's not really. It's still focused, but if you don't have patience to go along with your focus, then that's just gonna create some disaster. Because I don't know. Say you're racing Bristol, which is where we're headed next week, and you're driving through cars, but you're focused and you want to win. Like you're in second place, trying to catch the leader, and there's lap cars in front of you that could move, but instead you full send the corners into them, trying to catch the leader. I feel like they would move out of your way if you're patient, and if not, just be patient, get around them. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of a factor focus is unless you're chasing down someone for the lead.
That's a great point. And speaking of patience, do you have like a list of drivers that you think have the most patience or have gotten better at patience in the series this season?
I think I've gotten a lot better at being patient after my ODRL truck win. I've learned that that's how you become faster. Um, I think you've calmed it down quite a bit from Heat 5, but you've also gotten faster from Heat 5, so that might show something.
Yeah, I think
I
patience
think
has helped.
Cade has stayed about the same, but he was always quite patient until the last couple of laps, but you can't really blame him for that. I don't race around Tyreek enough, but he seems like one of the most patient guys I've ever seen. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the guys who are the most patient are the fastest drivers.
Yeah, I feel like patience and focus are my two biggest factors in NASCAR 25 so far. Oh, as well as skill because that's huge. And Pumps, moving on from Iowa, I wasn't at Kansas, so if you could explain to the viewers and me what Kansas was really like from the driver's perspective.
Well, you see, I don't really want to be biased here because I had a really crappy race. Um, yeah, I don't know. It felt like there was a couple times where caution should have been needed. I didn't get an interview, so I guess this will be like my interview. There was a lot of times where it felt like a caution would have been needed, and there wasn't a caution thrown. I was turned on lap 2, stuck 2 laps down, and couldn't recover. So overall, Kansas for me was quite terrible, but I've heard from other drivers that it was pretty fun. So,
well,
but
that's
lots of drivers were mad about cautions. So,
well, that's unfortunate, but I'm glad that a lot of people had fun. I did get to watch a little bit of it, and one driver that I'm really thinking of right now and heading into other tracks that he's really good at is NLS. You know, he was good all season, but he's really like been focused on other leagues, and he's been doing really good in other leagues. In Valvoline, he hasn't been that good. He only had one win, which came at Watkins Glen, and I mean that was a really good win. But some argue there were better drivers at better times. But NLS
I'd
did
argue the same.
he earned the win at Watkins Glen. He had the pace. He did everything he needed to, except for arguably the last lap. Okay, NLS at Watkins Glen was its own mess of a story, but he had one win at Watkins Glen. Heading into Kansas and the rest of the schedule, he needed to prove himself as a true championship contender and someone that deserves to be talked about because compared to the points leader with 4 wins, NLS was, I mean, in some ways a joke if he couldn't if he couldn't dominate a race because this season has been just dominance. It's been single race dominance. Like we haven't seen a single driver dominate all the races. It's been individuals dominating certain races. Like at Phoenix, we had Cade dominate. At Richmond, we have Bryce, and me at Iowa. Like there's just been single race dominance from all these drivers, and that's just an interesting story. And obviously sprinkled in, we have the wild, chaotic finishes. But I mean, based on that, what do you think about NLS heading into the playoffs, getting closer?
I think NLS is around a 4 contender here if he can continue to show up and do really well in racing because he's one of the best drivers on this game currently. Um, Yeah, I mean, no edit required for that one, but NLS has been one of the best drivers that I have seen.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. As someone who goes head to head with him almost everywhere possible, he's definitely one of the best drivers this game has to offer, and it's a fun story. And Valvoline is probably one of the most story type leagues where stories are made and legacies are formed. And a championship in Valvoline is more than just added to the stats because every champion in Valvoline has added more and more to the story of this league. So winning a championship here, it's more special than some other leagues. Like, you have some blander leagues, but I think a championship in Valvoline is always super super special. So NLS has said it himself. He's not going for championships, but I'm sure we both think that a championship would change the way he appreciates his achievements. Moving on from Kansas, I suppose we have Bristol, which I also won't be at, but we can preview Bristol here. Like we said, it's a rhythm-based track where you need focus each and every time. You need consistent lap times, and you need patience. What are your thoughts heading into Bristol, Pumps?
Bristol's a really good track for drivers to be able to show off what they can do in consistency. Bristol's another track like Iowa where you need to like run around the track in the same way every single time. And you have to be able to do that consistently over and over and over and really fast to lightning fast, just lightning fast, consistent speed to be able to catch the car in front of you and pass them. And Bristol is so hard to pass on. I mean, the top lane is so dominant there that you have to, if you get to the inside, you got to wait for them to hit the wall to pass.
Yeah, I've seen it as well. Bristol being hard to pass. And with it being that hard to pass, how much of an emphasis does it place on just winning the pole right away and having that clean air?
That's a really tough question because there's. I'll use Kellogg's for an example again, but like in ARCA 2, I qualified very far back, but my consistency and patience was able to work me all the way up to the top three. And the faster drivers would let me go if they saw that I was faster, which happened quite a few times. So I think consistency is definitely more important than qualifying, but it's very tough to say.
Well, that might be true for the race overall, but we're getting towards the end of the regular season here. The points cap at the playoff, the cut line, is getting super super tight. We've seen it be tied so far this season. What kind of pressure does that put on people to want to qualify just for the stage points? Right now we have two heavy heavy contenders battling on the cut line right now. We have Tyreek and an NASCAR F1 fan separated by 4 points heading into a madhouse like Bristol. Stage points, playoff points, all the points are going to matter, Pumps, in these last few races. So does qualifying matter for some of those drivers on the bubble?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a heat race here. That heat race is gonna be big for some of those drivers. Like I think F1 fan is definitely gonna be able to. I don't know.
But there's
Has
no
F1
points for
fan
the
been
heat
good on
race.
these short tracks?
No points for the heat race this season. Remember that.
No, I didn't even know about that.
No, it's just the pole this
Huh.
season.
So what's the point in doing a heat race?
Because it's too much work to do single car qualifying. And I like meet
Okay.
and greet qualifying. But heat races
Okay.
will
Well,
be
I
back
didn't
next
know
season.
that.
Heat race will be back next season. But yeah.
Okay. Good to know. It's a new game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What was the question?
yeah. Stage points mattering right away, qualifying mattering right away for the bubble drivers.
Oh yeah. I don't know if the bubble drivers are going to be going for. It depends what they want to do. Like if they want to go for the win, and I don't know if the wins lock you in or not. I don't know
No,
much
they don't. They
about
don't.
this format, but okay. Well, I don't know if they want to go for a win and get a ton of points, or if they want to go for stages and get consistent points. I'm not sure, but they'll definitely have to try something with how fast we're closing into these playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And fast forwarding through the schedule here, right after Bristol, we have another short track in North Wilkesboro for another 125 laps, and then we head to Daytona for a double points race, which is just a huge, huge factor thrown into the playoffs. So heading into another two back-to-back short tracks and then Daytona, what can we expect for the playoffs? Can anything really flip or change sporadically for these playoffs?
Yeah, definitely at Daytona. I mean, it's just a drafting track. You just have to not get involved in any incidents. Easier or harder said than done, or easier said than done. Um, yeah, Daytona is going to be a really good chance for these lower drivers on the playoff grid to really get up there. 'Cause they just got to get lucky.
Yeah, getting lucky is a huge factor in racing. I mean, even though you need to be fast in racing, we've seen it multiple times this season. Just being lucky as well can be huge in a win or a good finish. And, all these factors put together put great stories, great entertainment, as well as great legacies in the Valvoline Racing Series. So, Pumps, who are we predicting to win at Bristol based on consistency? And according on the check in right now, we have 8 drivers, but it was just posted like a few hours ago. Right now, we have NLS, Bryce, G Cool as some of the top contenders, I would say, our biggest names that are checked in.
I'll give a top three finishing results. I'll do top three.
Oh, Mopar's making it too.
Um,
He's a name.
I think in third place, I think I'll finish third personally. I think I'll get third place. I think Bryce is gonna end up second, and I think you already know who I'm gonna pick for the winner.
Yeah, yeah.
NLS.
I mean,
He's just been so fast everywhere, and Bryce coming off of the Richmond win. I haven't really had any time to show off my short track speed, but it's only there for any track other than Iowa, I swear.
now there is a fun stat that I should bring up for Bryce at this track, and some of the OGs might know this. I don't think anybody's watching this though. That is an OG. Bryce has the most Valvoline wins at Bristol with 3 Cup Series wins in a row, season to season to season, and 4 out of the first 5 seasons races at Bristol. He has been dominant here on NASCAR Heat 5. Is this track that much different from NASCAR Heat 5 to NASCAR 25?
I think they're really similar, actually. I think these tracks are so similar. It's wild. I mean, it's almost like doing the exact same thing, running the high line consistently. That's how it was in Heat 5.
So will Bryce be able to use his dominance at Bristol? Like, he's had amazing pace there. Will he be able to use and showcase that this Friday?
Well, I mean, that's a good reason why I put him in second place, too. He's good at Bristol. I think NLS might just edge him out a little bit and get that win. But I think Bryce is going to finish second, in my opinion. Who are your top three?
I mean, I think I have the same top 3, but I don't know what order to put them in. You're all so close, but I actually have Bryce winning just because of the stats and because of the determination we've seen out of that 9 car and the pressure he's been put under and how he was still able to get results. At Richmond, they were 3 wide for the lead, lap after lap after lap, and he was still able to break through, keep up the consistent laps, not break down under pressure. He knows what to do. He's a veteran. He has the experience, everything he possibly needs for this race to go perfect and for Bryce to win again. NLS, I think, could probably get second or win, but I feel like Bryce just has raw skill over NLS at some of these short tracks, like he showed at Richmond. Bryce was just lights out. NLS will be an amazing contender. He always has the strategies right. He has the pace to win in every league he's in. And you as well, you have pace to win, and you'll have the strategy. It's going to be close between you top 3 right now, but I think some underdogs is Mopar. Mopar is a name that hasn't been talked about too much this season, but he's having the greatest league racing season he's ever had in his career.
I don't know. I looked back at Mopar and Kellogg. If you can get that figured out if you can get the restarts figured out, I think that might be important if we have the same amount of cautions, which we did there, but this league might be a little better. Yeah, if Mopar can get a little lucky here, then I think he definitely is in contention for this win.
Yeah, so how close is the competition then? If Mopar's in contention for the win, you are like this is going to be an insane battle for this Bristol win.
Yeah, there's going to be I mean, there's always lapped cars that are going to get involved. There's so many factors that can go in here at Bristol. Like a small mistake by the leader, even on the last lap, any lap, small mistake by the leader, a lapped car making a mistake in front of the leader. So many things could go wrong for so many people. It's crazy.
That is true. And if Cade races, he's the one that knows about mistakes costing him the race. Cade has 0 wins at Bristol in the Valvoline Cup Series, but he should have 3 in a row. Cade has been spectacular at Bristol. We saw it in Kellogg's as well. Cade has raw pace. He has terrible luck at this track, especially in Valvoline Cup Series. What are your thoughts on Cade if he can make it?
Um, it's a tough one. I think Cade could. I think Cade will be in top three contention 100%. He'll be another one of those drivers insanely close for it. It's so tough to say though.
Is this the beginning of the making of another insane classic Valvoline finish?
It's possible.
We have like
I don't
5
know.
drivers neck and neck. And whenever we've seen that, we've had amazing finishes. Like Watkins Glen had so many drivers almost equal on pace. Same with Nashville. There was just only 2 drivers being equal on pace was enough to have an insane finish. And just having these crazy finishes.
Including some cars.
Yeah, including some lap cars, but excluding them, I think it would still be a fun and close finish. But just having this many drivers entering the race this close on pace, I feel like this is the making of possibly could be one of the greatest races in the Valvoline Racing Series, which just makes me more disappointed that I won't be there.
Yeah, this could be the Valvoline race of the season, or it could be total crap. But who knows at Bristol? Hopefully these drivers are smart. That's what most of us want to see. So most of the drivers with pace want to see. Anyways,
The trends at Bristol in the Valvoline Cup Series have showed us that Bristol and Martinsville are typically some of the long run tracks where the races just run out. You run lap after lap after lap and just keep going. I mean, there have been a couple showcases in this league of crap shows at those races, but typically they're races that just go on by. It's an endurance race of staying focused for that long. And, if the trends continue, this could be an amazing race with so many people almost equal on pace. Well, the battle for the regular season championship isn't too close at all. But, battle for second is within 2 points with 3 drivers. You, NLS, and Mopar all separated by 2 points for second place in the regular season championship, which would give you the playoff reset is a huge factor in these playoffs. Just being able to survive the playoffs. So first place would get 50 points. Second place would get 35. Third would get 25, and fourth would get 15. That's a 20-point gap from second to fourth for you guys. And 20 points might not seem like a lot, but when you have one race to go when you're on the cutoff race and you're back by 20 points, that's a lot of points to ask for from a driver.
yeah, and like going into these playoffs, like there's that a reset, right? There's a reset.
Yes, one reset.
Okay.
There's 2 resets.
So, okay. Well, do we have playoff points? Sorry.
Yes, okay. I'll just explain the whole formula.
Okay.
So what we have...
Well, okay.
Oh, I did not put the playoff points in the point standings this week. I'll have to go update that. Anyway, so what we have is we have playoff points. Added to... You get playoff points for winning a race. You get 3 for winning a race, 1 for winning a stage. And then at the end of the regular season, first we'll get an additional 50 playoff points. Second we'll get 35, 25 for third, 15 for fourth, 10 for fifth, 5 for sixth, 3 for 7th, and 1 playoff point for 8th. So there's a huge gap of up to 50-point gap between 1st and 8th, which is a huge gap. But between 8th and 6th is only 4 points, which is also huge because that's where the cut line is. And so there's a reset entering the round of 8, and the round of 8 races are at Martinsville and Chicago street course, which are 2 of the hardest tracks in the game to be good at. Then after the round of 8, there is not a reset, but the bottom 2 are cut off. So you still have the same points. So really having 4 straight good races to be in the top 4 in points after the first reset is what you need to have. Then after the next 2 races, that Indianapolis and Darlington, back-to-back crown jewels of the series. We have one final reset to pick the top 4 in points, even them out, and highest finisher at Miami wins the championship.
That's actually pretty intense. That sounds like fun, though. I'm excited for these playoffs. I'm really, really excited for these playoffs. I don't know. It's gonna get close for this bubble now. Like, so for the reset, like when we go into the reset, and you'll have quite a few playoff points probably here.
Yeah,
I think
I
MLS is
think
gonna have a lot of playoff
I think
points
I'll
too.
be safe. Hopefully,
Yeah, I think
I
you're
really do.
almost safe into the next round probably.
I mean, probably, which is good to hear. But like I
Yeah,
said,
I
the
don't
battle
know.
for second being
That
so
is-
close, the finishing second in the regular season gives you 35 playoff points as a bonus. Finishing fourth only gives you 15. So what I was saying is that the 20-point gap there could be huge if you're back 20 points entering Chicago Street Course on the cut line. Like 20 points is huge if you're entering Darlington 20 points below the cut line. Like 20, how big is 20 points for someone that's at the top of the board fighting for every point possible?
It's a lot. I mean, even 1 point. 1 point could matter. 1 point, even one. Okay, well, one playoff point will matter. 1 point in general might matter. Like even on the cut line, there could be, I don't know, 1 point difference. You got to get that. You got to get as many as possible if you're on that bubble right now, or going into the bubble into the next couple rounds. I think stage points are going to be huge. I think any point that you can get is going to be the point to get. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, for sure. And then we have a question in the chat. I don't know if he's still watching this, but what do you mean by the playoff reset? So what happens is after the regular season, we have the top 8 in points out of currently 30 drivers have raced in the Valvoline Cup Series, and after 13 races, the top 8 are the only ones that can contend for the championship. The rest of them are cut off, and those 8 drivers will all be reset to 2,000 points. They will all be equal on 2,000 points. But based on how many wins, stage wins, and where they finished in the regular season, they'll get playoff points to boost them higher in the seeding to get a better start to the playoffs. And then that's kind of the reset. But there's an advantage with the reset. So everyone's reset to be level on points, but then everyone gets a little bit of a refund after the reset for how they did during the regular season. That's how I like to think of it. So
Milk, you didn't include the Discord thingy.
I did, but it was freezing up and being annoying, so I turned it off. No, okay. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about for this?
I don't really know what else to say. Well, first of all, well, who's good at Miami in your opinion? Who do you think could be the champion?
Yeah, that's actually crazy to say. Well, I mean, if we're gonna talk about that, we have to talk about our top 4, because then if you're really saying who's good at Miami, you have to compare them to the other 3 championship drivers, right? And my top 4 right now is Bryce, NLS, you, and me, which would be a crazy battle. And I feel like at Miami, me and NLS have a slight advantage just because of how much we've raced, but that's the tightest championship 4 I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. I'm completely different than it was in Heat 5, I feel like, and so is NLS. NLS is a whole new speed compared to Heat 5. I think we've said that enough, but NLS is so fast compared to Heat 5. So many drivers are different now, and it's so exciting for Valvoline. I mean, Bryce was just on his downfall. Now he's cooking on short tracks.
Yeah, that's true. Bryce was getting washed up in NASCAR Heat 5, but now he has a revitalized chance on this new game. So with that, I feel like if the championship 4 is anybody, it's going to be a close call at Miami. So it's really about execution at Miami. Since it comes down to just one race, does it really come down to one race, though? Because of how much you had to execute to get to that point. Is it really only about one race?
Is there playoff points going into Miami too?
No, it's a complete reset.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Whoever's good at Miami is gonna be the champion if they make the round of 4. So points matter up until the point where you make the round of 4.
This is Valvoline, not Kellogg. Stuff does not go how you plan it to go every time. we've seen some of the craziest things happen before in Valvoline. One disconnection, one lucky disconnection, one unlucky spin, one unlucky moment, one unlucky speeding on pit road. There goes an entire season, right? So, I mean, I think the whole season matters. Just be good enough to get to the championship four. That is a huge task for anybody in this series. And then you have to put it all of that means nothing if you can't execute in the championship race, which you have to execute in this race, and that's the biggest part of it, I think. But you have to be the best of the best to win the championship in Valvoline.
Well, it's possible. I mean, like family dinner or family night one night on that homestead night. Friday night, you get busy after you work so hard to make the round of four. Everything's over unless you get a sub and they somehow win the championship. If that's even allowed, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy, actually. We have another question. I assume he says, "How do you feel about Weeb?" Which means that this is just Weeb on his YouTube account. Because it says Volley, and I think he likes.
I mean, I already talked about Weeb a little bit. I think pick up the consistency, be a little more patient. I mean, I saw you in Kellogg's. You were on my back bumper, which was like not on my back bumper. You were pretty close, and it was patient. I mean, you were a lapped car. You were smart about it, staying with the people that you needed to pass, but not passing them until or waiting for them to make a mistake. I think that's smart. I think do what you're doing. Honestly, you're doing good.
Yeah, he's put together some good races here, especially at Iowa and Kansas. He's had some good runs going here, moving himself up in the points. Right now, Weeb sits very good in the points and actually has a chance to contend. He's fifth in points, and if some of the big dogs keep missing races, honestly he could make it to the championship four just by being more and more consistent. We've seen crazy stuff happen. We had a championship four that was me, Bryce, Blue Angel, and Guido. Not anything against Blue Angel and Guido, but they were not the best that season.
And who made that? And who won that championship?
That was me, but
Was that
it was
Chicagoland?
No, that was Miami, Valvoline.
Oh,
That
so
was a
I
crazy
didn't even know that.
championship.
How many championships do you have?
It's a little unrelated, but I have 11.
Oh, I'm in Valvoline.
What?
2, 3? In Valvoline, 2 or 3?
Oh, in Valvoline, I have 7.
7. You've won 7 championships in Valvoline.
Not even counting the sub series. Actually, I think I've won like 13. Yeah. Well,
Well,
I've won
just Cup.
four Grand National, 3 Cup.
Wait, how do you have 11 championships in total, but 7 or 13 in Valvoline? Math is not mathing.
I don't know. I didn't mean that. Because some of them I didn't count the games that were off of Heat 5. I counted the games that were just Heat 5, and then World of Outlaws in Valvoline, I won that championship, and I won the IndyCar championship twice. So those add. But the first question you asked, how many championships do you have? I just was thinking Heat. In total, I have 14, counting some of the ones I don't really like to count. Like the Farewell Tour, I don't really like to count. IndyCar, I don't like to count.
Just Cup Series.
I have 3.
Was that?
It's 2, 3, and 6 were the seasons.
So what I was gonna introduce with that is the first championship you won, the winless championship.
Oh, that
you were
was
showing me that.
That was a different
Yeah,
league.
I didn't even know about that. Was it? I thought
Yeah.
that was Valvoline.
No.
Okay.
Well, we
Well,
can
anyways,
talk about my first Valvoline.
Well, still, that like the one with Bryce at Chicagoland, that wasn't even Valvoline.
No.
Okay.
That was still my first championship.
That could happen. But
yeah.
Yeah, that could happen here. You don't have to win any races to win the championship. Which I think that was just what I like, because you can win this championship off of consistency and showing up.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, that was a lot of hassle for that short statement.
Well, I was trying to say, trying to get you to say something, and I didn't. Anyways.
Well, Pumps, I think I've asked you this before, but I want to ask you one more time. What would winning the championship for a driver like you, who hasn't won many titles or any at all for what I know, how would the Valvoline Cup Series title feel to you physically and emotionally?
I'd probably cry. I mean, that's a crazy championship to win. Yeah, I mean, I have 5 road racing championships. Bring on the money, bring on the fame. I'm so cool. Um, but I haven't been able to ever get a championship. I haven't been close in Heat 5. I was struggling to get wins in Heat 5. I don't even think I got a legit win, other than maybe that Bristol VCS win. But even if that was like a huge wreckfest. Um, yeah, I mean, winning the championship would mean the world to me. I would love that so much.
Yeah,
It'd be
so
absolutely crazy.
I feel like that's how a lot of drivers feel. And me personally, I feel like this championship. I mean, I know Kellogg's has a history and like a story behind their championship, but I feel like this one means more. I haven't like the feelings I've seen after winning a Valvoline Cup Series championship are just immeasurable. I have not seen another league that has had some of the feelings. I mean, Glyra's season 1 championship, my season 2 and 3 championships. That was the most I've ever celebrated actually. And then Bryce's season 4 championship. I know that was an amazing championship for him. Season 5, Cade, I don't know if he did too much celebrating because it was the first season of the chase. In season 6, we didn't celebrate too much. But with the playoff format, there's been so much emotion towards this series and winning the championship overall. So, it's all going to come down to Miami. But we still have a good chunk of race to get there, though. We don't end until March 6th, will be the finale. So we have a while to go.
Are we under a chase format then? Or is it
No,
still playoffs?
playoffs.
Oh well, yeah. I
Like the
mean,
whole
there's
thing I just
the final
explained.
race. Frick, I'm stupid. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Anyways,
All right. Thank you all for
do you have any
watching
questions?
this episode of the Valvoline podcast. Um, I won't be at Bristol, but my boy Pumps here will be. I'll be working. I'll be washing dishes for $12 an hour. So I need you guys to pray for me for mental health because I mean that's a joke. Obviously, I don't need it, but I hope they all have fun there. I hope the management's able to do good. Um, hope it's a fun race. Hope it's good.